What is going on, everybody? Coming at you with some more One Piece gameplay. Today's video is between Magellan and Donquixote Doflamingo. Again, just a reminder, if you guys do like the content, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You know, every little bit helps, and I aim to provide you guys with more awesome One Piece content. Really looking forward to the meta to come. Really looking forward to playing some games at my locals this Saturday coming, so in 2 days, hoping to get a lot of great stuff from that session. And this is from my last locals. The local scene seems to be kind of pumping up where I'm from, so that's really great. We're going to see Doflamingo open with no turn 1 play, and again, myself also opening on Magellan with no turn 1 play. Unfortunately, I'm forced to go second with Magellan, which is not optimal in this matchup, but it is what it is. And then we're going to see a 3-cost 4K Doflamingo to arrange the top 5. And we're going to see a 5k swing at leader, which I will actively take. I think defending first life is a bit overrated, unless you're playing something against like Zoro or something, or you're playing a 4-life leader. But when you're playing a 5-life leader, I think defending the first life is pretty lame. And we're just explaining the effect of Magellan here. So I have no turn 2 play, so I'm going to swing 5 here with Magellan. They're going to use Moria. I'll pay 1 for a Hanya Ball. Look at the top 4. I'm going to grab a Koala, sending Hell's Judgment to the bottom, which maybe not a great play usually, but I wanted the Koala to play a Sadie and a Koala just so I have a lot of characters to clean up these bodies that Doflamingo can play. There's a ton of like 5k bodies that Doflamingo can play, and I really am not a huge fan of that. So we're going to see Akuma come down. I guess they just didn't like what they saw on top of their deck, or they're worried about the swarm. So they're going to swing 6 here, and I'll have to take that as well. And now I've got a pretty wide board, and it's my 6th Dawn turn, so I have a couple of different options here. Seeing a king would be nice, but I didn't see a king, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop the Douglas Bullet to rest the Kuma. And then my leader gets plus 1k, so we're going to swing at the Kuma. They're going to counter out of it. And then we're going to swing 6 at the Kuma again. They're going to let it die, and they're going to play a Pacifista. I don't really agree with countering out on the Kuma if you're going to play a Pacifista anyways, because now you're 2 cards out of hand. Or you could have just blocked with the Doflamingo blocker there, but I mean, it is what it is. So now they have Pacifista, Dofi, and leader swing available. They're going to play another Dofi to rearrange top 5 here. We're seeing a Boa, as well as a Mihawk, a Law, and 2 Gecko Morias. And we saw there is a Love Beam in hand, so they're going to rearrange, and there's a Teach in hand as well. So I think we're going to see the Dofi leader swing here at the Koala. Koala's going to go down. We're going to ramp that Dawn back. And then I'm asking if he's activating leader effect, and he is not, which I wasn't sure of, but he's going to pass it to non-active. We have a good Dawn turn with 7. We're going to swing 6 with Bullet at leader here. They're going to take that. And then we're going to pay 5, I believe, for a Queen, which is going to let me just continue to draw cards. My hand is pretty full at this point. And I have a 7-cost King, which I think is going to be pretty irrelevant in this matchup going forward. So I do pitch that from my hand. And then I'm going to swing 7 at leader. They're going to use a Love Beam to counter and draw a card. And then I'm going to pass back turn with some Dawn active here. And I have a Hell's Judgment in hand, and I have like 9 cards in hand at this point as well. So it's like, I know that if they're going to use Dofi effect, they're going to use Dofi effect to swing 8 at Bullet. And use the leader effect to play a Mihawk. And then I'm going to use Hell's Judgment to minus on Pacifista and Doflamingo. So they're both, so Dofi's at 5k, Pacifista's at 3, so that my Bullet's safe. They're going to play a Boa, and then they're going to slaw a Dawn under their Boa, and they got a pretty wide board here at this point, but as do I. I have some decent bodies on board with the Bullet and the Queen. I think at this point I'm just looking to clean up some stuff. I'm going to use the King here to pop the Boa, because I don't want any value coming from that. And I'm going to swing 6 at the Mihawk, and they're going to end up blocking that, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll swing 5 with the Sadie here, because give me a card from hand. I'm going to swing 6 with Sadie, and I think at this point they've maybe overcommitted, because I have a 6k swing from my Queen, and they can't block it. So I think they overcommit to save the Mihawk there. I'm not sure why they overcommitted so hard on it, but they basically lost their entire board on that swing. Which is, I mean, lovely for me, but it is what it is. We're going to see a Moria dropped, and they're going to grab back. I think it's a Boa they grab back here. Boa's a good card. And then they're going to pay 4 for the Boa. And they have 2 Dawn, and I think they're going to swing 6 Pacifista at my Queen, which is a pretty free counter for me. And then they're going to swing at the Queen again, and I'll counter again. And then they're going to play a 1-cost Law Blocker, which, again, I'm okay with. At this point, my board is extremely, extremely wide, and I have a lot of cards in hand. So I swing 6 on 6 here, and they let the Pacifista go, which is great for me. And then we go ahead and we pay an X-Drake to get them to pitch the last card from their hand that they just drew. And then we're going to swing 6 at life here, and then we're going to 7 at life here. And then we have some Dawn active still, so we're going to swing 7 at life again. They're going to opt to take the life instead of to get counter. And then I'm going to pay 4 for an Uda, and just explain Uda's effect, which is if I block, Dawn -1, rest a cost of 5 or less. This card's great against every deck that's not green or black, I think. I mean, late game, she can definitely get bounced by Mihawk and Dofi, but I'm not super duper worried about that because you're committing a lot to bounce a blocker. So I do block, and I rest the Boa here, which is going to give me the threat of lethal next turn, unless they just go ahead and they load up with the blockers. So they're going to play a Moria to grab back, I think, another blocker or a Mihawk just for the 2k counter in hand. They're going to pay 1 for another 1-draw blocker, and then they're going to leave 2 Dawn active for a Love Beam that we see in their hand there. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about my chances of winning here. I don't have to go too fast. I have 4 bodies on board plus my leader, so I actually forget to activate my Dawn there, but I swing 7 with my King. I've swung 5 with my X-Drake, so there's 2 blockers still. I swing 5 with Bullet. I swing 6 with Queen, again, forcing that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and pay 5 here for another Queen, just to draw 2 and trash 1. Dawn back to the Dawn deck. Swing 6 at... we'll swing more at leader. Swing 10 at leader. Again, either force out the block or force them to the last life. They're going to use Love, and they're going to pitch a 2k to counter out of it. Which is good. They keep a life up, and they do have 2 bodies on board, but we are looking pretty good. We could see a Mihawk come down, which we do, and he's going to bottom deck the Queen, which is fair. We're going to see a Moria go with the X-Drake, and I'm going to counter out of that. They're going to go with the X-Drake again, and we're going to counter out of that. We want as many bodies on board as possible. And then we're going to see another 1-cost Law. So we're seeing a lot of these 1-cost Laws, a lot of blockers this game. Swinging 5 with X-Drake. They block on the next swing, we swing with Bullet, and then we just load up our leader, and you're not countering out of that. 15k at life. And that's game. Until next time, Monty out.